Okay, it is Thursday, January 5th at around 8:15 a.m. on the East Coast. Quick update. Hope that everybody had a happy new year. Let me get the disclaimer out of the way real quick. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and please do your own research. Thank you. So I'll cover my thoughts on million token real quick, and then we'll just kind of look over the general market very generally, basically. So there's some questions about the million pool. Right now it's at 9.53% APY, which is a little bit a bump above. So technically put in like 5,000 tokens like 42 days ago. And I think that'll last around 60 days with it going at 583.33 mm per week. That's about 18 days from now, which would be January 23rd, give or take a few days. I don't know. So that's when I think the pool will run dry. And your guess is as good as mine if the pool is going to be refilled. I don't think it will be. I think his wallet only has like 1,100 million token left. I haven't been really looking at wallets or charts really lately for that fact. But if technically doesn't have any tokens left because he gave most of them away in the staking pool, just be grateful for that. And here's the 5,000 he put in 42 days ago from TechLead, and that was like the last of what I think he could actually put in the pool. So with a fixed supply, years from now, if million tokens still around and being adopted, we'll look back at these times and think, wow, this is such a great deal. So that's that. There's some questions about, also with the million pool, people have been asking, should I stake now? Because it may end January 23rd. Well, it really depends upon you. You can figure out how much tokens you get per week by taking the amount of tokens you have. Like, let's say you have 1,000, multiply it by the rate, 9.53% or 0.0953 divided by 52 weeks a year. That'll give you like about 1.83 million tokens per week if you had 1,000 to stake. So you have to ask yourself, if that's worth it for you to stake. Some people have thousands of tokens. I think there's a lot of whales out there now with the price of million token, around $2 or so. And so that's how you calculate, how many tokens you can get per week. And you can calculate that per day, dividing it by 7 days a week or whatever. But I'm keeping mine in there, for another perhaps 3 weeks. And then I'll probably just remove my tokens and put it back in my wallet. And there's also some thoughts about, how do you use million on a ledger device or Trezor device. I've been asked about that recently, and I would just go to YouTube and just read up on your device, whether it's a ledger or nano or Trezor device. Million tokens an ERC20 token, and it could be any ERC20 token can be handled on a Trezor or ledger device. Now I know I like Trezor; it's really easy, and each device, whether it's a Trezor or ledger device, you can integrate it with MetaMask and use MetaMask. There should be tutorials about that as well. But I don't want to go in depth on it because there's some already great tutorials out there and I don't need to recover that. So you're going to have to do some more research on yourself for that. But I like using the MetaMask as a interface with my devices. I don't really like Ledger's separate, what do they call it? Ledger Live, their software. I think you have to add... you have to download like an app for each coin. I just don't like that. Anyway, but no issues with MetaMask interfacing with your Ledger or Trezor device. You might have to add the million token to the that type of asset to your MetaMask. You just plug in the contract address, and there's probably videos on that as well, which I could probably do. Just so your MetaMask will actually recognize your coin, that it's on your wallet. So if you go to like Etherscan and you see your million tokens in your wallet, great. But if you don't see it on your MetaMask, don't panic. It's there. You just have to put in the contract address so your MetaMask can recognize it. And you can go to milliontoken.org. There's also some questions about bridging, particularly Polygon and Binance, Smart Chain Bridge, and there's Avalanche Bridge here too. Those are probably the three most popular. Polygon and Binance are the most popular right now. So you can click bridge here for the Polygon and you'll get something like this. You need to go to Polygon Bridge, connect your MetaMask, your wallet, and you go through the procedure there. There was I helped somebody recently who got stuck, and it's happened to me before. So like if you're waiting an hour and your computer seems to be stuck, here's some tips. One is disable your VPN, and two, disable your antivirus software before processing bridging, before you do any bridging. And I wouldn't do anything else on your computer while this bridging process is going on. So don't multitask. Really, the bridging process for Polygon and any bridging process really shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, and it could be done as little as 5 minutes or less. So if you're stuck for hours, don't panic. There's a way to push it through using our hash. You can go to your Polygon transaction. You'll see a hashtag or whatever hash transaction. You copy that, and there's a way to push it. Make sure you have gas fees already before bridging. Make sure you have some ETH. I think it costs like $2 or less. Last I checked, I would just have a few bucks worth of ETH there on your wallet, and some Matic or Polygon. Also, it's probably going to be less than a penny. Just have something there, because if you tried bridging and you forgot to put some ETH for the gas fees, it's going to get hung up and stuck. So you just avoid all that. And same with I think with the Binance Smart Chain, I think they take out a little bit of million token. Maybe it's 2 or 4 million token per bridge. But yeah, if you click on the bridge there, that'll take it to multi-chain XYZ. I don't know if I've used this one. I think I've used something called AnySwap. You could Google that, AnySwap.exchange, and you just put in your you have to connect your wallet, obviously, and you can just tell the router, if you're going to Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain. If you're going from Binance Smart Chain to Ethereum, you would reverse these. You connect your wallet, and then you type in how much whatever asset was, your million token would show up here. It might take a minute or two for the wallet to be recognized, and then you'll see your asset here for million token. So I went through that, and then I got my million token transfers from Binance Smart Chain over to Ethereum. So these are people probably are thinking about staking. You could also do it for Avalanche here too. So I think I'm quite familiar with AnySwap. I'm not sure if I used multi-chain. It's been so long since I bridged. And that's some questions I've gotten recently on Polygon. So don't freak out if you're bridging from Polygon, gets stuck. But after an hour, I would just ask for help. We can send you a link there. You can go to Telegram, and I posted links there to help you out there where to go if you get stuck. But don't freak out. You're not going to lose your tokens. I had over 4,000 on Polygon Bridge stuck for over a day, and I wasn't worried. It was just a matter of figuring out how to push it. So what else is there? I think that's it for million token. I haven't even really been following the price. As far as I know, it's somewhere just above $2. I'm not really following charts too much. The main charts I'm following are the Bitcoin chart, the S&P 500 chart. I just want to know, are we going up or down? I think we're going down, and I think the Fed released some minutes saying that they're not planning on decreasing rates this year, and they need to still increase rates, which we all knew, So I think we'll still come back. We'll still come down, but Bitcoin's actually holding up. It's 16,800, and let me just go down the daily chart real quick here. I think we've been going sideways for quite a while, actually. How long have we been going sideways for now? Same price since November 9th. Okay, so here's a daily exponential ribbon. We're coming up to resistance right here at the bottom. The top part of that is around 17,300 or so. Looking at the stock market, if we're going to drop from here to here, I still think Bitcoin's going to drop. And the third chart I mainly follow is the dollar chart. So let's see now. Last time we had this parabolic move was back here. It looks like in 2014, we got support on the green line, which we're at right now, and we bounced off. But back here in 2017, that was kind of like, actually, as the dollar went down right about here, as Bitcoin was really taking off. So if you think the dollar is going to bounce off this moving average here, the green line, like it did back in August of 2015, then I think we're going to be in for some more pain, because as the dollar rises, asset prices drop. And which, I think the Fed's still trying to control inflation. So I think there's a good chance that we could get a bounce here. And if we break down, then I think there's a good chance, we start the general recovery of Bitcoin and asset classes, where like Bitcoin goes up for 3 years and down 1 year. And right now in January, this is generally the time when, we've been going down for a year for Bitcoin. This is generally the time that, it recovers. My only concern is if, the Fed still keeps raising rates, there's going to be a risk off on assets. So, I'm just waiting for my lower prices and my limit orders to get filled. If that happens, great. If not, then I just hold, and my assets will grow as the market matures. So, this red line here from tip to tip, I drew a parallel line, that white line up here from the previous high up here. I guess I could go back on monthly. And it kind of coincidentally just happened to touch that line here. I don't know if that's coincidence or not, but maybe we could bounce off that that line and then maybe have a double top. And when that finally comes down, if we have another down year market for assets like the stock market and such, maybe at the beginning of next year, the recovery begins of the stock market and crypto, particular Bitcoin. We'll just wait and see. I think there's a good chance. I really don't know if this is the year Bitcoin recovers. I know about this 4-year cycle of Bitcoin. Everybody knows that by now, but not many people are talking about like, well, Bitcoin's never seen a recession before. So that's why I am cautious. But I've been in this space for many years. If I was new to the space, I would just dollar cost average, especially these low prices. So real quickly, this is the BLX Bitcoin since back in 2010 September. This yellow line is a 21 month. Oh no, this is the weekly moving average. 21 weekly moving average. I thought it was going to be monthly. But when we're above it, we're in a bull market. When we're below it, we're in a bear market. And right now we're still below it. Last time we broke out here in April 2019, we had a really explosive breakthrough. If I saw that again now, a really explosive breakthrough, that would be a really good sign. I would probably I'd probably FOMO in and buy some Bitcoin. Also, I would have to take into account, what's going on with the Fed. Back here also in around September 2015, we had a parabolic breakthrough move through that 21 weekly moving average, very similar to the breakout we had back in 2019. And also when we broke through December 2011, we came back and retested it, but look at this parabolic move again in June of 2012. About the same price as it was back in December of 2011. So that was like 6 months later and, went up. So, if we have a down year in stocks, I don't think Bitcoin's going to break through that 21 weekly moving average and then continue to go up for its bull run while the stock market goes down. That's just my opinion. I think there's stronger hands holding Bitcoin than there are holding stocks. However, most people holding, like, let's say the S&P 500, they're just holding because it's in their 401k plan. So they're not going to sell either. So it's hard to say. So should still wait and see for me. That is the news, my updates. I'm just taking it easy. If this is another bear market, I'm just going to just sit on some cash and wait for lower prices. In fact, my limit orders are still way down here. They start buying at 15,400 or so, all the way down to 13,400. And then if those orders get filled, I'll just put more cash in, and but that's not going to happen overnight. It'll be a slow bleed if that happens. In fact, looking at this downward channel here, these white parallel lines, we are approaching that wall there, and we're at resistance on the daily exponential ribbon. We could have a violent move down, actually, and then we could have a S&P 500 move down too. These are weekly candles. Let's see, now we're about here. 1, 2. It could take 2 or 3 weeks before we come down to this bottom channel here, if we even break that. So by the end of January, we'll know if we're either down here or sideways or going up. But my hunch is by the end of this month, we'll be at lower levels for the S&P 500 and probably Bitcoin if the market continues to go down. So keep in mind, follow this 21 weekly moving average, and it'll probably will be a good indicator whether we're in a bull market or bear market. There was a fake out here, but that's because we had the pandemic and everything kind of crashed. There was a drop for Bitcoin of like 50% in 24 hours. And then a quick recovery when the money printer went burr. That's what I got. I hope everybody had a happy new year. If you like this content, give me a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Have a good one, everyone.